next speaker will be Laurie, who is a member of our trust and sits on the board.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Well, hopefully you've heard enough about the Faversham Community Land Trust and why we set it up and what we're trying to do to persuade you to join us if you haven't already. And you'll see how you can do that at the end of this presentation and also on our website. What we wanted to talk about now is the title of this whole session, which is Faversham's Hidden Homeless. Hidden, I think, because it's really easy to imagine that Faversham doesn't have a homelessness problem. And we know that local authorities in general, their housing need registers do not really paint an accurate picture of homelessness in the patch. So together with Swale Borough Council, as Claire has already said, we commissioned an organisation called Art4, an independent organisation with the expertise to run a postal survey about housing needs across the town. The two headlines from that really are in this slide. The first is that Faversham needs a significant additional supply of affordable housing to meet the needs of existing households and those that are likely to form over the next 5 years. And perhaps, quite shocking really, is that actually it's residents who perhaps are already in work, who are in our infrastructure, they're registered, as Claire said, at local surgeries, their children go to local schools. It's these people living and working in Faversham that are really, as far as we can see, as far as the survey said, what we can describe as the hidden homeless. So I'd like to show you in detail a bit of what our survey told us, or rather the people in the town told us. The first thing that came through is housing benefit is really not enough to rent here at an entry level. The cost is just too high. So in some places, housing benefit may enable local people to rent accommodation here. That's not possible because rents are too high. And similarly, housing prices are really unaffordable for working people to live here. This is people we need, police officers, nurses, teachers, fire officers, people like that. And it's somewhat shocking to realise that actually you need over £56,000 a year as an income for a household to get onto the housing market at an entry level. So that was really quite shocking for us. We then looked at what kind of housing people in Faversham thought we should, at the Land Trust, we should prioritise. And it's quite clear that the highest priority, without any doubt, was small family homes, 2 or 3 bedrooms for singles or couples, and also smaller homes to enable older people to downsize. And it's interesting how much that is a feature of housing need here in Faversham, is people wanting to get into a house that's more appropriate to their circumstances. What people did not want were detached houses, townhouses, and larger 4 and 5 bedroomed family homes. And I don't think it'll escape your attention that those houses that are emerging around us well, they're called executive homes. They're exactly that, larger 4 and 5 bedroom homes. People were concerned that we should do something for first-time buyers to enable social rented housing to be available for low-income households, and also housing that's suited to frail, elderly and disabled people. But there was no feeling there was absolutely no need for self-builders for shared ownership housing, schemes that actually haven't been in Faversham that often, and particularly for private rented accommodation. When we asked about reasons people gave for wanting to move, you can see on the right there, if I can have the next slide, that really is what we can get out of this data here. People wanted to right size. They were concerned about right size for health, for age, for disability. They were worried about costs. They were worried about disrepair. And as we've said here, also about, although it's not on the list, there was a lot about disability and health issues. So there are a lot of very good reasons why people wanted to move in Faversham. Then we asked ARC4 to look and try and project the housing needs for Faversham people over the next 5 years. And this is for four categories of people really. For existing households who needed affordable rented housing. Affordable here is really truly affordable rather than the formal definition. Others can go into that later. And existing householders needed to own. And then, of course, because we're taking a 5-year view, it's going to include newly formed households for wanting rent and newly forming households who want ownership. And the number, I think, is quite surprising. What it comes to is a total of nearly 2,000 truly affordable homes required over the next 5 years. And that, if you divide by 5, equals just under 400 homes a year. And that's really, I think, the task that we have, the Faversham Community Land Trust has before it. But the vast majority of people seeking houses and flats are young people and older people who are interested in downsizing. Now, there's a lot more data in the survey. You can check it all on our website. There's lots more information there as well, which you'll find interesting. But I hope that gives you a useful flavour of what our survey contains and the kind of conclusion it comes to about the hidden housing need and the need of Faversham people for houses in the future.